Hey everybody, Seth Campbell here. Welcome back to Segway Plays The Legend of Zelda the Wind Waker. In the last episode, we said goodbye to our home and our family, and we boarded a ship with the pirates and played a little game with Nico here and got ourselves a spoils bag. And now we heard from a call from above deck that we have arrived at the Forsaken Fortress, which is the home of the villainous bird that took our sister.
Come on!
Hey, Link! Here I am, up here! Let's talk to these other guys. The young miss is waiting for you up above. We've reached the Forsaken Fortress. What are you doing, Shrimp? Miss Tetra is waiting for you up in the crow's nest. Shake a leg, yeah? Go! Hoof it! Was Nico's test easy? Really? Well, not exactly. It's more due to my ineptitude than Link's. So that's the Forsaken Fortress. What an evil-looking place. You're not kidding. Right. So up the ladder we go. Seems to be a full moon tonight, which could be either a good omen or a bad omen. What were you doing with Nico? Don't tell me you were playing some stupid game for treasure. Were you? She's onto us. Well, whatever. There's something you need to see. Have a look over there. That's the cursed isle known as the Forsaken Fortress. There are all sorts of strange rumors about this place. What I do know is that long ago it used to be the hideout of a no-good group of pirates we used to compete with. But they were just small time. Now the place looks like it's pretty dangerous. Ah, I knew it. Look, over there. By that window. Have you ever seen so many seagulls flock like that before? I'll bet you anything that's the place where they've got your sister locked up. It looks like the whole place is under really tight guard. This won't work. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near landing there. What do we do now? Look, don't struggle. If you really want to get into a dangerous place like that, this is the only way to do it. Trust me. We pirates do this all the time. Don't worry about it. It'll be a piece of cake. I'm just going to pause for a second and let you listen to the audio that loops if you wait here. I always thought you could loop that and make a bizarro drum track, rhythm track to build some sort of a soundscape on. So if any of you out there want to do that, go ahead and send me the results or post them in the comments or whatever, because I would love to hear it. Is everybody ready? Never you fear, kid. We're pros. We're gonna launch you good. 3, 2, 1. I love how Gonzo's just waving goodbye. Ow. Sometimes it's just not your day. Your sword landed all the way up there? Shoot, I'm sorry. I apologize. I guess my aim was off by a little bit. The look on your face. Priceless. I slipped this stone into your pocket just before we fired you over there. It's no ordinary stone either. I can see what you're doing through this stone, and obviously you can hear me through it. So, if you see A, you'd better press that button. I put the stone in your quest status screen. Press start and use L or R to scroll around. It's pretty basic. Hey, but listen carefully. I need this back after you save your sister, so don't go losing it, you understand? Okay, well, here we are. We are at the very bottom of the Forsaken Fortress. Our sword is nowhere near us. And we're about as far from where our sister is as we could possibly be. So, we've only got one choice. That's to sneak in. Now, obviously, searchlights are not things you want to be caught in if you're trying to sneak. Fortunately, there are barrels that are entirely hollow and that can somehow phase through stairs. Graphical limitations of 2003, I guess. So yes, this is the stealth portion of this game, and the basic idea is you're in a barrel. And you don't want to be seen moving when you're in a barrel, but it's okay if the spotlight hits the barrel and you're not moving. Which leads me to believe that this is the most incompetent security force you will ever find, because there is a barrel, and it is moving every time they look away. Yet it does not occur to them to send anybody to check on this barrel. Whoever is running the show here, whoever is in charge, you might want to shill out some extra rupees for a bit of a higher quality security force, especially, speaking of rupees, if you're going to leave your money lying around. That said, we're on the breaking and entering side here, so never mind. Proceed. So yes, we have to do some sneaking. Now, for someone with mild anxiety, such as myself, stealth portions of games, I play them a little too carefully sometimes. I'm afraid every time I'm going to screw up. But as you can see, this game is fairly forgiving in the sense that if you've stopped moving, like as in you've stopped pushing the control stick, but Link hasn't quite finished moving and setting the barrel down when the light hits you, you're still gonna be okay. It's only if you're really blatantly moving while the searchlight hits you. Now we can go up here to one of the platforms with the searchlights. And if you see the A button blinking like that, that means Tetra's calling us. Listen up, Blink. There's a monster running that searchlight up there. If you can slay the monster, then just maybe it'll shut the searchlights down. Oh, but you're unarmed, aren't you? All you have is a shield. If I were you, I'd try to use my shield to deflect the monster's blows and see if I could make it drop its weapon. If you did that, you could pick up its weapon with A. And that's just me. What'll you do? Well, I don't have any better ideas. So yes, let's just go up to one of the security forces running the searchlights and get his attention. In order to do battle with us, he stops the moving searchlights. So we can take advantage of that. Now when you're L-targeting an enemy, you can press R to hold your shield. And if he strikes at you, he will eventually drop this stick. And you can use this stick like a sword. Let's press A to pick it up, and then once you have it, you use B to swing. And of course, the other thing you can do is, if you notice over here, this pot that has a bunch of sticks in it, you can just pick up the pot, get a rupee out of it somehow, and throw it, and then pick up a stick. And I'm pretty sure that's what I did as a kid, because again, I somehow didn't get the whole L-targeting thing down. That reminds me, incidentally, I know you're not going to believe me on this, but you know how I had to re-record the whole beginning, or well, not re-record, but replay the whole beginning of this? You remember with the sword training how much trouble I had with the thrust? I didn't have any trouble with it when I wasn't recording. You're just going to have to take my word for it, okay? Anyway. Down. So that's one set of searchlights down, and it looks like there are ways to climb up to the other ones. So, in theory, the more of these we shut down, the easier it'll be to sneak around. Now, unfortunately, there's no ladder here, so we can't really do anything. But there are doors. Now you can go either way. As you can see, this place is a pentagon, so you can kind of go either clockwise or counterclockwise. I'm just gonna, just for the sake of memory, I'm gonna go in the door with the lit torch above it instead of the unlit one. There's a pirate flag of some sort on the wall. And a chest. This chest, as you might have noticed quickly, I went to look at it first, looks a little bit different. You got the compass. Now you can see where things are hidden in the dungeon. Press control pad up to view your map and see for yourself. Yes, the compass. You're usually meant to get another item first. And depending on the way you play this, you may come across that first. But the compass shows you where treasure chests are in the dungeon you're in. And the word dungeon, for those who aren't familiar with Legend of Zelda games, that basically, the dungeon is like basically the level, like the serious portion. You got the overworld, which is, you know, on the island and everything, and then you've got the dungeons, which are the puzzles. And this Forsaken Fortress is indeed one of them. Now, what do we do from here? Well, this lantern on a rope swinging back and forth looks a little familiar. Thank you, Nico. Of course, there's also stuff down there. But I'm just going to ignore that for now. And here we are outside again. Now another platform that we can't climb anywhere off of, or another ledge, but it gives us a little overview each time. This one looks like it has somewhere we can go. And it indeed seems to have two places we could go, except we can't quite reach that ladder. And this being one of the more traditional Zelda games, you cannot jump to it. However, this ladder reaches all the way to the ground, and we have ourselves another Bokoblin duel. And yes, I know there's a debate, is it pronounced Bokoblin or Bokoblin or whatever, but I'm going with Bokoblin just because it seems to follow the pattern. And now we have his stick. And we can attack him with it. He's doing a little better than I would like. Now, unfortunately, I wanted to see if that was the case. If you use the shield when you're holding a picked-up weapon, particularly a weapon that Link holds with two hands, I think that makes a difference, you will drop that weapon. I can't find it either. Okay, we found it. And if you're not quick enough, your adversary will pick it up again, as he did. So you just do the whole shield thing again. Of course, these are only makeshift weapons, so they're not particularly strong. They take a lot longer than our sword did. Now, this thing is interesting. I don't remember the official name of it, but sometimes, if you're lucky, when you defeat an enemy, one of these will appear instead of him just dropping a rupee or a heart or something. So if you break that, you'll get a lot of things. Some rupees, some hearts, and occasionally some spoils like this. You got a joy pendant. You can keep it in your spoils bag. These pendants are said to flock to those who spread joy, like butterflies to nectar-filled blossoms. So yes, this is our first instance of a spoils bag item. So as was mentioned when we first got it, you can open it with X, Y, or Z in the items menu. And then inside you'll see the different types of items you can get and how many of them you have. Now you can set them to a button, but there's really no point. Taking this out here won't do anything. But we now have it equipped, so I don't know, can you just flat out unequip something? I don't know if I ever... No, you can't. Okay, so now we have it. Yep. Anyway, we've now shut down another set of searchlights. And since we came from the door with the unlit torch again, let's go into the one with the lit torch. Another pirate flag. This is room 3, I guess. You might be thinking, if you play a lot of puzzle games like I do, that, you know, you have to match the color to the number. Okay, green means 2, yellow means 3, but no, they're just pure decoration at this point. However, if we look down there, there seems to be, well, that's the big door to get in. Actually, this isn't the room I thought it was. So I'm not going to do that quite yet. Well, this is handy. There's a ladder here. It doesn't reach all the way to the ground, but there's also this box. And we can grab this box with R and push it. That makes the box fall down below. And if we push the box underneath this little ladder here, then we have suddenly created a shortcut from this opening platform that we first walked in on to the second floor. And incidentally, you'll notice no searchlights. Well, we've got a shortcut and everything now, but let's just try walking in through the front door, because every stealth mission that starts that way succeeds, right? Well, this appears to be a storage room. There's rats. And then these guys. These are this game's incarnation of moblins. Now, we were able to just walk right up to the bokoblins and use a shield and take their weapons, so theoretically that should work just as well here, right? No. And we're in jail. I just wanted to show that that could happen. You know, it's entirely possible to go through this without that happening, but I wanted to show it, especially because when I played this as a youngster, I was bad at avoiding this. Well, we're in jail now, and we're getting called through the stone by Tetra. Are you planning on spending the rest of your life in there? Well, I mean, it is jail, so kinda. Is that a problem? Look around. I'd be surprised if a rundown cell like that didn't have a hole or two that you could use to worm your way out. Alright, so now we have to break out of jail, because of course, we can't just open the door. But we are going to do that in the next episode. So, I will call it here, and in the next episode, we will break out of jail and continue to explore the Forsaken Fortress. See you then.